What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is Web Dev Journey, and in today's video we're going to be doing the basic thing, the most basic thing you could do with RabbitMQ, and that is sending a message and consuming it. That is it. All right, but before we get into that, guys, I do want to say, if you wish to support me, there's going to be a Patreon page down below. Also, there is a donation, a PayPal donation, I think. I got the feeling of like not that many people want to, be in the subscription or like per month thing. So if you want to do a one-time donation, I would really appreciate it. I'll be really grateful. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for watching my video. I really do appreciate you watching, you spending your time watching my video. So anyways, back to the video. All right. So the first thing we do need to do before getting into RabbitMQ is getting an instance running on our local machine, and there are several ways to do this. Okay, let me actually pull them up. So the first way is obviously running it, installing RabbitMQ onto your local machine and then running it that way, which I will leave a link to this down below. The second way of doing it is using a cloud, right? Using running an instance in the cloud. And yes, this is actually free, so you just need to sign up and it will be free. You can run a simple RabbitMQ instance on the cloud. I'm not going to go over any of these. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Just I don't know, follow the directions, right? And the third way of doing it is using Docker, and that's the way that I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be using Docker to run my instance. So I will leave this little is quite a big long thing. So all you need to do, don't worry about if you don't have the image. Just run this on your local machine. Make sure you have Docker, obviously, right? Just run this and it'll install RabbitMQ for you guys. So I'm gonna just go ahead and hit that. And here we go. We're starting this. So we have a RabbitMQ instance running, and we could check that by saying Docker ps-a. I like doing -a for, anyways, right there. It is running RabbitMQ. Here it is. All right. And here's our default ports. All right, cool. So we have an instance running. Now what we need to do is create a folder. I already have a folder. I called it RabbitMQ. And here we're going to be creating some files, so that way you have multiple files, so that way you can reference it later on in the future if you need to. All right. So the first file that we're going to be creating is called send.js. And by the way, guys, what we're going to be doing is literally, let me open this up. It's literally over here. If you go to features, or actually, yeah, get started, RabbitMQ tutorials, we're doing this very first one right here. I'm gonna be doing it just a bit different, and the reason why I say a bit different is because they're using .thens. I'm gonna be using async await, so that's the only difference. But anyways, this is what we're doing right here, and that's it. All right, just letting you know, this is what we're doing. All right, so anyways, we have a file called send.js. This is going to be sending a message to our broker, and then we're going to create another file. This is going to be receive.js, and this is going to be receiving messages from the broker. Okay, so let's focus on the send. Now we do need to install a module, and that module is AMQP lib. And this is going to help us talk to RabbitMQ. So npm I amqp lib. Oops, lib. And there it goes. There it goes. Pretty simple, right? And all we have to do is say const amqp lib. It's going to equal require am. There it is, right there. So now we have that, so that way we can talk to RabbitMQ. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is say we're gonna create a name, a Q name. So I'm gonna say Q, and I'm gonna say name right here, so that way we don't get confused, right? I don't want you guys to get confused at all. So we're gonna create a Q name. We're gonna say our Q name is going to be hello, right? Like I said, I'm going off of that what's it called? That get started file. Anyways, we're gonna also create a message. So msg, we're gonna set that equal to hello world. I don't know why one's capitalized and the other one isn't. All right, since we are using async await, I am going to create a function. We're going to create a send msg function. is going to equal, we're going to say async, right? And then we're going to be calling it down here. So send message. All right, going up above. So first thing we need to do is grab a connection, create a connection to the RabbitMQ. So const connection. We're going to set that equal to await, because we need to await that. I don't know why that auto completed, but no, not that. So we're going to be using the module amq.connection, or connect. There it is. And simply, since we're running this locally, if you are running this locally, it's going to be amqp : / local host, right? If you are running this in the cloud, you're going to have to grab that client and then paste it in here, okay? Not client, URI, and then paste it in there. So now that we have a connection, next thing to do is create a channel, const channel. Now, basically a channel, you could think of it as a pipeline to RabbitMQ. So we're just creating a pipeline to RabbitMQ. That's all we're doing, right? So we're going to set that equal to await connection.create channel. There it is, right? So there it is. So we created a channel, a pipe to RabbitMQ. Next, what we're going to do is say await, and we're going to say channel.assert queue. Now, what does assert queue actually do? And ignore this channel. I don't know why it's there. Before we even talk about that, we are going to be passing in the queue name. So queue name, and we're going to pass a configuration saying durable. We're going to set this to false. There it is. All right. So what is this doing actually? All right. So assert queue, what it basically does is that it's going to create a queue with a queue name if there isn't a queue already in existence. So if there isn't a queue, it's going to create a queue name. And if there is a queue, it's just going to ignore this completely. Okay. Now this configuration durable, what is durable? So just to clarify, we're making our queue durable false, okay? But anyways, what is durable? So durable basically means that if there is a RabbitMQ restart, basically restarting your service, it's going to create this queue right off the bat once it restarts, okay? Now, the messages inside that queue is not going to be saved, or it's not going to be recreated unless you have persistence on. By default, I think persistence is off. I'm not too sure. But anyways, durable does not mean persistence, okay? Persistence is another thing. So durable is just going to, if it is true, which is not, but if we set this to true, if there's going to be a RabbitMQ restart, it's going to create that queue once again, okay? Since I set it to false, it's not going to create that queue again. Just wanted to let you know, all right? So basically, assert queue is going to check if there's a queue or not. All right. Oh, and by the way, guys, by default, if you don't do anything, by default, the exchange type is the direct exchange. And every message that you're going to be sending is going to be using the routing ID of the queue name, okay? And I'll paint you a picture so that way you get a little bit of more understanding of like how that works, all right? Since I already did it, you can look at the last video if you want to, but I'm going to do it really quick on this one as well. So anyways, after we created a queue, what we're going to do is send stuff to that queue. So all we have to do is say channel dot not assert queue. We're going to send to queue. There it is. And it takes in, well, a few things, right? So the first thing is going to be the queue. What queue do you want to send stuff to? Well, we want to send stuff to the queue name, which is queue hello, right? So we're going to just type in queue name. And the second thing is content. What do you want to send, right? What is it? So we want to send this message just saying hello world. But remember, guys, everything is buffer. So we just need to say buffer.from, and then pass in the message MSG, right? And there are some options that you could add, but we're not going to be adding options right now. We're going to just stick to the very, very basics, all right? Next up, I'm just literally going to console log out what we sent. So I'm going to just say sent and then MSG. MSG. There you go. I'm gonna make this capitalized, right? And then last but not least, we want to close the connection. So we're going to set a little timeout. So set timeout. There we go. Thank you. So we're gonna set a timeout, and we're gonna have connection. By the way, this is all in the like I said, I can't stress this enough. This is all in that get started thing. So connection.close. There you go. And they also do process.exit, which you don't really have to, but you know, they do it, so I'm gonna do it. Exit, there you go, 0. And we're gonna be waiting half a second, so 500 milliseconds, okay? So let's control save this, and let's talk about what's happening here. Let's give you a pretty picture, right? So make sure, hold on, let me get my pin out. Does it right? Okay, here we go. So remember, we're using a publisher right here. We got a publisher, right? We're sending a message, and the routing ID or the routing key is literally the queue name. Since right here we're sending a queue, this is our publisher. We're sending stuff to the exchange. Our routing key is going to be hello. Okay, hello. That's our routing key. Okay, so now we sent this to the exchange, which is the direct exchange. And now we're gonna have, since we created a queue up here, right here, we created a queue. We do already have a queue right here with the hello, named hello, right? And since it's bound to that, it's going to be like, okay, since this is a hello, the routing key is hello, I'm gonna be sending it to the hello queue, okay? And we will explore this in a bit. We're gonna just rename this after a bit, and we're gonna see that we're gonna have 2 queues, okay? But anyways, this is what's happening right now. It's pretty simple. Direct exchange is pretty simple, all right? So anyways, let's go back and let's run this. So if I do, let's clear this out. If I do node and then send, we're gonna be running this file. We should see sent hello world. Awesome. So we sent hello world. So how do we check that we actually have a queue named hello and that we have hello world in there? Okay. So RabbitMQ actually does give us a good little tool that we could use over here. So if you type in localhost, so 15672, this is going to be the GUI interface for RabbitMQ. If you type in localhost :15672, and the thing is going to be guest login, okay, you're gonna see that, hey, look at this, check this out, we have something here. So we have a message rate, we sent a message, and we also have queue messages. We have 1 queue ready. Total is 1, okay? And we could check out the queues as well. Look at the queues. Look at this. We have a hello queue, which is cool, right? It tells us the messages that's inside of it. We have 1 that's ready and the total of 1. Now, again, let's try this again. Let's go to our code. So right here, we're going to just change the queue name to I have no idea, WDJ. It does not matter. And we're going to have the message say that hello WDJ, something like that, right? So that way we know that this is good. So we're gonna run this one more time, and there it is. It sent hello WDJ. If we go back over here, let's go to overview. You're gonna see that there's another spike, okay? Because we sent another message, and over here you're gonna see that, hey, queue messages. There's 2 queue messages, but again, if we go to queues, we're gonna see that, hey, check this out. We have 2 queue names, or 2 queues, hello and WDJ, and we have 1 message in each one of these, right? Like I said, that bound, I erased it already, but that binding, right? So anyways, just wanted to show you that this is actually true, how it's binding it and everything, okay? So anyways, let's go back over here to our code, and then let's focus on the receive.js. So now we have a file that sends stuff to our queue. Now let's go over here and try to receive that, consume our message, right? And basically it's going to be the same thing as send, but there's going to be little tiny differences, all right? So the queue name, we want to read off the hello, and then later on we're going to read off the WDJ queue. But right now we want to read off the hello, so we're going to just type in hello right there. Everything is going to be the same except right here. All this stuff right after the assert queue is not. All right, so we're going to create a channel, a connection, we're going to create a channel, and we're going to assert queue. Now you might be wondering, why are we asserting queue? Why are we checking if there's a queue or not? Didn't we already do that? Yes, we did, but this is just a safety check, all right? It's because sometimes we might start the consumer before we do the publisher, all right? We might start the consumer before the publisher, and we just want to make sure the queue exists before we try to consume messages from it, right? This is just a safety check. You don't have to do this, but best practice. All right, so right after this, since we did all that, I'm gonna just log out something right here. Oops. There we go. Log. Give me that right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use ticks. I'm gonna just say waiting on 4 messages in queue, and I'm gonna just type in the queue right here, which is the queue, well, the queue name, right? We're waiting on messages from this queue name. Okay. So how do we start consuming things? And it's very, very simple. All we have to do is say channel.consume. We want to start consuming stuff. So .consume, there it is. And what queue do you want to consume from? It tells you right here, right? All the stuff. So the queue that we want to consume from is from the queue name up there, whatever it is, which is hello. And then there's a callback, which is the message, right? So we're going to grab a message. So I'm going to just say, we're going to get a message back, MSG. Right, we're going to grab a message back, and literally all we're going to be doing is, no, not logger, log out that message. And I kind of like the way they did it. So they did bracket X, bracket, and then it say received, EIVED, received, and then colon. I'm going to do colon. This is off script, and then the message MSG dot content. There it is. Dot content. What? Yeah. Dot content. Dot toString. So inside this message, guys, there's a lot of things that's in there, and the only thing we want is literally the content, which is whatever we sent, which was hello world, I think it was. Yeah, hello world, there it is. And we're gonna just toString that. Remember, because we're sending it as a buffer, so we need to toString that so that way we could actually read it. If you don't, you're gonna just see buffer. Yeah, you don't want that. Just toString that, okay? And the last thing we need to do, if you remember, right after we consume it, we do need to send an acknowledgement saying that, hey, we received the message, everything is good. And that's literally the third argument. So this is the first argument or parameter. This is the second parameter, and the third parameter will be an options, right? We got options right here. And one of the options is no ACK. Ooh, whoa. No ACK. Basically, do you want to acknowledge that we got the message? And we're going to say true on this. Yes, we do want to acknowledge it. If we say false, it's not going to delete that message from the queue. It's going to just leave it there, okay? Which we don't want, all right? So anyways, let's try this out and let's see if it works. So we're going to clear this out. We're going to do node receive. Dude, did I spell that? I spelled receive wrong. I said revive. Well, let me actually rename this. Rename receive, right? And I still spelled it wrong. Dude, let me grab this right. Okay, there it is. All right. All right, anyways, let me redo this again. So we're going to run this, and hopefully we're going to get a message back. So if I hit enter, there we go. We're saying waiting for messages in queue, hello, and then right here we say it received hello world. And since we did not close out of the connection, it's still up and running. So check this out. If I create another one right here, all right, if I do this right here, I'm gonna make this a little bit, there you go. Well, right here, if I do node send, right, check this out, it sent that stuff, and over here we should see it, and we don't. Oh, it's because it's still in WDJ. Hold on, let me just, hello again. We're gonna queue name hello, and over here, hello v2. I have no idea. Control save this. Now let's do it. No, send, and there it is right there. We received it as well, and we could do this as many times as we want, right? Now we're gonna check this out. Check this out over here in this little diagram right here. So overview, you're gonna see that, hey, we're receiving or we're reading messages. All right, look at this. That's very, very cool right there. And you might be wondering, well, we still have 2 unread, right? We still have 2 ready, and that's because they're in the WDJ queue, right? We sent one initially, and then we sent one by accident. So let's read those and then finish up the video. Okay, so let's go back over here, and from the receive, we want to receive stuff from WDJ. All right, so control save this. Control C, let's do a receive again, and you're gonna have 2 things, right? Hello WDJ, because we sent this twice. Now over here, if we just change this to WDJ, hello, subscribe, control save. If we send this out, check this out, subscribe, like, and then you get the point, right? Comment, right? Control save. You get the point, right? Every time we send stuff, it's going to be receiving it from queue to queue, right? Message to message. But anyways, guys, that was it for this video. It's very, very simple. This is the simplest thing that you could do with I was gonna say React, with RabbitMQ. I hope you liked it, guys, and I hope you learned something in this video. I will be having a GitHub link down below for this obviously for this project. So check that out, guys. And again, guys, thank you guys for watching my videos. I really do appreciate you spending your time watching my videos. Also, if you want to support me, there's going to be a Patreon and also a PayPal donations if you want to donate, just a one-time donation. I would really appreciate it, guys. So thank you, guys, and I will see you in the next video where we're going to start. What is it? What's the next thing that we need to do? It's work queues. Yes, distributing tasks among workers. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing in the next video. I will see you then. Thank you, guys, and bye.